So here's the deal. I am going to talk today about a couple things, and we're going to start in a particular place. Home Alone, the movie. You've seen it. We've all seen it. It's the holidays. Now, just to let everyone know, if you haven't seen that movie, which I don't know. I mean, if you haven't, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to be talking about it in depthly, so there might be some spoilers. So if you haven't seen Home Alone and you're thinking, I was just about to get around to that. It's like one of the most prominent holiday movies and has been for about 30 years now. I was just about to get to it, I swear. And you don't want me to spoil anything for you. Well, you may want to tune out for a little bit here because I'm going to be talking about it. Because here's the thing. Now, people have deconstructed that movie a lot over the years. Usually it focuses on the burglars or it focuses on Kevin. What I haven't seen a lot of is a focus on Kevin's family. Because here's the deal. They are all borderline sociopaths, except for the mom. And really, I think capitalism's a little bit to blame here, too. I think there's a little bit of an anti-capitalist subtle messaging going on in Home Alone that I think often gets overlooked. So let's start at the beginning, okay? Where does Kevin start going south? Where does he kind of get in trouble to begin with? Okay, they all ordered pizza. So all the families there. It's the uncle, his kids. So there's cousins, there's siblings, there's moms and dads. They're all together under one big roof because keep in mind, they're very rich and they're about to go to Paris for the holiday because, again, they're very rich. So they're all under one roof. And what do they get to feed everybody all at once? They order pizza, right? They order pizza. That's great. Kevin likes cheese pizza. That's the only pizza Kevin can eat is cheese pizza, which is a little boring, but he's 7, all right? Or 8, or however old he is. His taste buds are still developing. And cheese pizza, that's his thing. And of course, he's excited. Who doesn't? Do you remember how excited you got when pizza came? Of course you do, because you're an adult now and you still get that freaking excited. At least I do. So the pizza comes and Kevin's brother, Buzz, intentionally eats an entire cheese pizza so that his brother doesn't have any food. Nobody took a second to digest, pun intended, how freaking psychotic that was. And Buzz didn't even get in trouble, by the way. He eats an entire cheese pizza solely so his brother doesn't have anything to eat. And, Kevin loses his cool over it. He attacks his brother, which, of course, that's the wrong way to handle it. Totally. But Buzz, nobody takes a step back. Kevin gets sent to his room. Everybody blames Kevin because, Kevin attacks his brother. He tackles him. A big mess happens. His brother throws up everywhere and the entire spread gets ruined. And nobody even looks at Buzz. It's only Kevin. Kevin gets sent to his room. No one takes a second to be like, that was pretty psychotic that Buzz ate an entire cheese pizza by himself. What should have happened? What should have happened was they should have been like, hey, Buzz, that was really freaking evil. Hey, Kevin, what your brother did was really shitty. But, you don't get to just tackle him and knock over like an entire room's worth of stuff and ruin dinner for everyone. So both of you are going to your rooms for right now. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to order another cheese pizza, not just so Kevin has something to eat, but because maybe some other family members wanted cheese pizza. Hey, Buzz, you psycho. You just ate an entire cheese pizza. You're both punished, and we're going to pay for this cheese pizza and to replace all the stuff that was broken out of both of your Christmas money. That's what's going to happen to teach both of you a lesson. That's what should have happened. And then, by the way, they could have had an entire side movie following Buzz around. The movie could have been called, hey, is Buzz going to get to take a shit today? It's been a week and a half because he inhaled an entire cheese pizza and he's a teenager. Nobody took a step back and was like, whoa, Buzz, that's evil and psychotic. And you just inhaled an entire cheese pizza. It was just Kevin. Just Kevin. They were only mad at Kevin, who, by the way, didn't get to eat anything. But these are all rich people, so they're more upset about the stuff that got damaged than the fact that a child is going to bed hungry. So that was a little messed up. Now, let's get to before they actually left Kevin behind. How did Kevin get left behind? Well, because when they were getting everything ready and packing, they assigned the task of tallying all the children, because there were a bunch of them. It was everybody's kids, right? They assigned that task to a child. It was one of Kevin's cousins, his younger cousins, who was in charge of tallying up all the children. What were the adults doing? They were too worried about what wardrobes they were bringing or what stuff they had or where their mouthwash was packed. They couldn't be bothered tallying up the creatures that they created. You think that would be priority number uno? First priority, let's make sure the people we made, the living beings we are responsible for, let's make sure they are accounted for and in the car. Now, that's kind of an afterthought task. We could just assign that to cousin Susie. She'll be fine. How could this go wrong? Well, it did go wrong because she accidentally counted one of the neighborhood kids as Kevin, and then Kevin wasn't in the car when they left. You'd think maybe they'd put an adult in charge of, hey, let's make sure all the kids are here. No, let's just let a kid do that. That's what they did. So that, very poor parenting. They were more worried about stuff than their children. That's pretty messed up. All right, so on the plane. Now we're on the plane where Kevin's mom realizes, oh, we left Kevin behind. We left Kevin. She's asking the dad. She's like, something's not right. The dad doesn't even think of people. He immediately thinks of stuff. He's like, the coffee maker, the oven, what could it possibly be? And then he realizes that he left the garage open. He left the garage open, and he's not even concerned, by the way, because they're really rich. It looks like they might have lived, I don't think they lived in a gated community, but there were just a bunch of mini mansions everywhere. So he wasn't even, he's like, yeah, the garage is open, whatever. Someone will go check it out. Never sends anyone, by the way. Another interesting part, never sends anyone. And that's it. And then finally, the mom realizes Kevin's missing. Kevin is missing. Now, what do they do when they find out Kevin's missing? No one gives a shit except for the mom. Like, no one cares. They don't even care. They get to Paris. Now, again, this is a family with a lot of means. I know it's a huge bummer if you're thinking you're going to have a Christmas vacation in Paris and you find out that's not going to happen. But they had the means to just turn around as soon as they got there. It's an emergency. And keep in mind, this was all like pre 9/11, so flying was a lot more lax than it is today. They could have easily gotten a flight back to Chicago immediately. Now, I know that blows a hole in the entire plot because the whole point is the mom's trying to get home and Kevin gets in all kinds of shenanigans and stops the burglars. I get that. It kind of would ruin the whole movie if they were just able to get back to Chicago right away. But the mom is the only one that cares. The rest of them are just like, let's just have our vacation anyway. He's fine. Even the dad is just like, yeah, I'm sure it's okay. They send the cop to the house. They're like, oh, we'll have a cop. Oh, and by the way, did you notice throughout the entire movie, everybody thinks the mom is an asshole for being worried. Everyone, like even the cops, like the mom's panicky when she calls the cops and they're like, oh, yeah, okay. We'll send someone to check on your son, whatever. That's random. She's the only one with a rational reaction. She's the only one who's like, hey, a creature who lived inside of my body, who I spent hours in labor pushing out so that they could have life, who I love with every fiber of my being, is in a different country and is in danger, and I am miles away, and he's alone, and he's 7. I'm panicked. Panic is the appropriate response if you left your child in a different country. That is the only appropriate response, and she's the only one in the family who the rest are like, well, we should go see the Louvre. We'll get to him. What are you going to do? We'll get to him. And then eventually they do get to Kevin. And then the only redeeming moment for most of those characters, for Buzz, for the other siblings, for the cousins, for the one uncle who called him a jerk, the only redeeming moment for any of them was when they were happy that Kevin wasn't dead. They're like, hey, it's cool that you're okay. We're happy you're not dead. So they're not total sociopaths. They're just all right on the brink of it. They don't lack all human empathy altogether. They have a little eensy tiny bit of it. However, they are all dictionary narcissists and should all be in therapy. Every single one of them. Except the mom's the only rational one. I don't know how those parents didn't get divorced immediately after all this happened. Oh, and then they don't even ask Kevin, hey, did you maybe have a near-death experience trying to stop two psychotic burglars? Did that maybe happen? Instead, they yelled at him for how messy the house was. The movie ended with Kevin going, or Kevin's dad or brother going, what did you do? What did I do? Family, what did I do? I almost got killed. That's what I did. Oh, you're worried some of your stuff is damaged? Fuck all the way off. That would be the only appropriate response from Kevin. Anti-capitalism sentiment in that movie that I think goes overlooked. If you have too much, sometimes you can be an entire family of sociopaths. An entire family of sociopaths. No, don't get me wrong. It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. But you may watch it this holiday season, and it might not even be, you might be like, I never thought about it through this lens. What the fuck, Ron? And hey, I'm just the messenger. I'm just the messenger.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your news on with Ron.